Part 187. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1861. In the crowd, there was a rather sinister voice suddenly. Fang Fan's eyes focused on this, and his brows could not help but frown. This person is covered in a black robe, and all kinds of dark energy are gathered on his body. He is obviously a member of the Dark Camp. That's Haishan, the godson of the Dark Temple. It is said that he is also the son of a saint in the Dark Temple, and his status is evident. Hush, he is most famous for his temper. It is said that there are not many people from his clan who died at his hands, and he has a very evil habit. What hobby? Tell me, I've never heard of it. He, don't be so excited, just listen to me slowly. It is said that the Haishan godson of this dark temple likes virgin blood the most, and must drink virgin blood every day. The most abnormal thing is that he has to drink one at a time. Suck all the blood of the virgin, and then kill the virgin. According to what he said, a virgin is a one-time use and cannot be used again. It is extremely cruel. If someone's woman is caught by him, it will be too miserable. Everyone talked a lot, and gradually, some details about the guy in front of him were revealed. Fang Fan squinted his eyes secretly, and gradually began to think in his heart, He Tian, the godson of the Dark Temple, should also be the leader of the cultivators of the Dark Temple. Right now, there are three forces under the royal capital of Shu City. They are the Akabane Kingdom supported by the Genji Shenzong. In addition to the 200,000 troops of the Akabane Kingdom, the Genji Shenzong and its vassal forces have also assembled tens of thousands of practitioners. Furthermore, there is the Pure Sun Kingdom supported by the Temple of the Alliance of Light. The Kingdom of Pure Sun itself has 200,000 troops, and the number of the Temple of the Alliance of Light is also about 200,000 for training. Finally, there is the Tian Kingdom supported by the Dark Temple. The Tian Kingdom has a military force of 200,000, but there are more than 300,000 practitioners gathered in the Dark Temple. It is the strongest of the three forces. However, Genji Shenzong originally belonged to the category of the Light Camp, so if Genji Shenzong and the Temple of the Alliance of Light were united, it would be able to draw a tie with the Temple of Darkness. The turbulent situation, inexplicably makes people have an urge to find out. Fang Fan. Let your people get out of the way. Didn't you say that there is no fruit of God in King Chu's palace? Let's go in and search for it. Empress Fu Sui, the third peak god of Genji Shenzong, puffed up her chest slightly, and then said proudly, the condensed light in her eyes seemed very real. You can't enter the capital. You can't even enter the palace. Because this is my territory. I am the Prince of Chu Kingdom. Queen Natasha of Chu Kingdom is my woman. Whoever of you dares to take a step, kill unpardonable. Fang Fan's face turned cold, and he took a hard look at Fu Sui, the third peak goddess of Genji Shenzong, with murderous intent. Huangfu Shui's delicate body trembled slightly, and subconsciously shook her body. For some reason, she subconsciously felt a sense of panic. Fang Fan's eyes were so contagious, she felt that she was being seen through. Fang Fan's words erupted, causing everyone around to panic. At this moment, Fang Fan has already turned back to the head of the capital, hugging the noble and glamorous Queen Natasha, declaring his sense of belonging. Everything speaks with facts. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1862. Everyone's eyes gradually focused on Fang Fan, and the expression on his face seemed somewhat surprised. The scene is simply not too shocking. Fang Fan became the prince of the Chu Kingdom and married the beautiful Queen Natasha of the Chu Kingdom. The tremor this brought to everyone was simply not too strong. It was indeed followed by a wave of shock, and they subconsciously opened their mouths, feeling inexplicably stunned. This Fang Fan acting as the Archbishop in red is really flirtatious. Who says it's not? It's only been so long since I came to the ruins of the gods, and even His Royal Highness has married her. Her Royal Highness the Queen of the Chu Kingdom is really beautiful, and Fang Fan's Yanfu acting as the Archbishop in red is also wonderful. Jealousy, envy, hate. Hee, I'm jealous of a hammer. He has this power. What do you have? What do you use to compare with others? It's not on the same level at all, okay. So there is no need for much comparison. What should we do now? We can't just stay here forever. We have been running for so long to come to the capital of Chu Kingdom, so we can't go back without doing anything. Hush. Everyone's eyes focused, and then they chatted with each other. Sure enough, a shameless and despicable person. Hee. Wherever you go, you will be romantic. Shameless. Despicable. Damn it. Son of a bitch. Fu Sui, the goddess of the third peak of Genji Shenzong, said this, and then couldn't help but began to curse eagerly. While cursing, the veins on her forehead burst out, showing the extreme unrest in her heart. Thinking of this, the feeling became more and more profound. She didn't know why, but when she saw Fang Fan hugging other women, she felt a sense of jealousy in her heart. This feeling of jealousy is burning right now. Queen Natasha is a stunner of a generation. It's a pity, what a pity. Such a stunner, why isn't it mine? No. Absolutely not. I must snatch Queen Natasha back. It's so beautiful, full of plump. Tisk tisk tisk. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, licked his lips, with endless excitement in his heart. While talking, the flushed expression on his face became more and more clear. All kinds of thoughts churned in my mind, and even the sound of breathing became much faster. Priest Huangfu, you must help me win Queen Natasha, give her to me, let her be my princess, the position of queen is still reserved for you. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, straightened out his round belly, and then said excitedly from the side. While talking, all kinds of thoughts were churning in my mind, and it was completely hard to restrain myself at this moment. Shut up. Where did all this nonsense come from? Huangfu Sui suddenly gave Qi Lian, the king of the Qi Lian kingdom, a cold look, and then scolded with a displeased face. Now that she is in an extremely irritable state, come here to provoke her? Do you have any eyesight? Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, was stunned for a moment, but then he didn't react. Is this, scolding him? This woman is beautiful? He is the supreme king of Akabane kingdom. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1863. Priest Huangfu. Do you know what you are talking about? I advise you to think it over carefully. If you have this attitude, I will pull back all the troops of Akabane Kingdom right now. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, said with a displeased face, being suddenly scolded, he would naturally feel angry in his heart. This is the most natural expression of emotion. Don't think that you are fighting for me, Genji Shenzong. Fight for me. After all, isn't it for yourself? If you didn't want to go to the big world and enjoy a more luxurious life, would you lead the army here? We are a cooperative relationship, not a vassal relationship. I hope you can understand this. Huangfu Shui gritted her teeth slightly. This time she finally said what she wanted to say in her heart. At this moment, she felt an inexplicable sense of satisfaction in her heart, and subconsciously, She wanted to breathe a sigh of relief. Miss. Every time I see this fat pig, I feel more or less uncomfortable in my heart. And every time I can only bear the burden of humiliation. It's different now. He can also be completely confident. Qilian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, fell into silence silently. He twisted his fat body with difficulty, and there was a glint of awe in his eyes. At this moment, a seed of dissatisfaction has been left in my heart. For the practitioners of the three kingdoms and even the temple of the Alliance of Light, the temple of darkness, and the Genji divine sect, snatching the divine fruit has become the only obsession in their hearts. Now this kind of obsession is gradually rising, and it has become extremely clear. As for Fang Fan's obstruction, they would not hesitate at all. The siege battle is ready to go. The scene one seemed extremely eager. Cultivators of the Dark Temple. Soldiers of the Tian Kingdom. Follow me. Kill. Siege. Siege. The first person to break into the capital of King Chu will be rewarded endlessly by the Son of God. Haishan, the god-son of the Dark Temple, scanned the surroundings with greedy eyes, and then he gave an order, and the smiles on his face became more and more. At this time, it is necessary to cut the mess quickly. Cut everything. The killing at this moment seemed extremely real. Genji Shenzone Cultivator. Follow me. Soldiers of the Akabane Kingdom, fully attack. Empress Fu Sui, the goddess of the third peak of Genji Shenzone gave an order, and immediately the practitioners of Genji Shenzone and the troops of the Akabane Kingdom also started to move. Hee, this Fang Fan doesn't know how to flatter, and that son of a god can't help it. Since everyone chooses to attack the city, I naturally cannot fall behind. The corners of Tai Shikayang's mouth raised silently, the god-son of the Alliance of Light Temple, and his eyes showed infinite excitement at this moment. God's fruit comes first, opportunity comes first. Although it is said that the temple cannot fight internally due to repeated orders, it is necessary to provide all-round protection for the temple personnel who have already obtained the fruit of the gods, and there must be no delay. But when it comes to the actual situation, how can it be arranged so clearly? All in all, there are some differences. Those big bosses in the temple are at least not here at the moment, so there is a lot of controllability in it. What to do and what not to do, I naturally have a little sense of proportion in my heart. As for the others, it doesn't seem so important. As long as you can get the fruit of God, you are the hero of the temple. As for the process, is it that important? Who really cares? Scattered in all directions is greed. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1864. Three kingdoms, three powers. In fact, the main force is concentrated at the main gate of King Chu's capital. The defensive pressure here is also the greatest. Facing the turbulent attack, although these defenders of the Chu kingdom felt a sense of despair, they still stood up and were ready to fight to defend their homeland. Although they felt that the possibility of keeping it was unlikely, but no one was willing to escape at this moment. To flee is to die, to fight is to die. It would be better to end up with the name of loyalty. Queen Natasha stood on the spot with a long sword in her hand, and her pair of eyes scanned the surroundings, looking extremely eager. Form is better than people, and we must pay attention to all aspects of the situation, so that no accidents can happen. Prince. To be able to fight and die with you is the luck of my life. Queen Natasha shook the silver-white battle armor on her body, and then showed a sweet smile. Fang Fan recently found out that Queen Natasha is actually the most seductive. Every minute makes you feel like a spring breeze. We won't die in battle, I won't, and you won't either. And Angzan guards, nothing will happen. After all, we are not married yet, this wedding is halfway through, and it's nothing. The corner of Fang Fan's mouth curled into an evil smile, and then he whispered into Queen Natasha's ear. Queen Natasha gritted her teeth, and suddenly trembled with her body and mind, then a pair of big eyes stared at Fang Fan. What is the reality of husband and wife? You are my prince, shouldn't there be everything between us? Also, you have kissed me, will I have a baby? Queen Natasha blinked and said with a cute face. Fang Fan. Is this really stupid, or fake stupid? Or tingling scalp? What are you talking about? Doesn't Her Royal Highness even know the basics of common sense? Kiss, you're going to have a baby. Is there such an exaggeration? Fang Fan rubbed his painful head, he really didn't know what to say at this moment. After the war, I will personally teach you, what is the truth of a husband and wife. Be prepared when the time comes, there may be a little pain at the beginning. Fang Fan stopped talking, and besides, he didn't know what to say. I will guard the main city gate. Let the Chiyu Kingdom's army disperse and go to the surrounding walls. If you really can't keep it, you must ask for help. I will support you at any time. You tell the soldiers of the Chu Kingdom, tell them that they only need to hold on for 1 hour, just hold on for 1 hour, I'll take care of the rest. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes silently, folded his hands together, and already had a plan in his mind. Defending the city to the core is quite difficult. The number of enemy troops is too much. Our side doesn't have much advantage. At present, it is still necessary to find the right opportunity to kill with one blow. Low heavy machine gun corps. Walk around the main gate of the royal capital and shoot in full force. Guan Hai. Lead the yellow turban typing warlock corps to fully perform sacrifice summoning, and summon a group of skeleton soldiers to come out as cannon fodder. Blood Azura Legion, go deep into the enemy army and kill senior officers. The rest of the major legions attack in disorder. Galen, Kyle, Jax. All-out attack. Daji. Long-range magic support. Caitlyn, kill the top enemy army. Vega, prepare dark magic. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1865. The slaughter at the main city gate has just begun. There are at least 800,000 troops and practitioners gathered at the main gate. With a glance at the past, there are huge crowds of people, heads piece by piece. In fact, these are the best targets. Bayless led the low heavy machine gun corps and was frantically strafing, and the frenzied killing began from this moment. Everything in front of you is amazing. Everyone's eyes were focused on this, and they all wanted to enter the capital of Shu Kingdom and become the first person to eat crabs. Their wish is of course excellent, but it is unknown how likely it is to be realized. Boom! Bang bang bang! The sound of cannons came, and the low heavy machine cannon corps began its bombardment journey. The low heavy machine cannon legion was originally a high-level quasi-sacred level army, but it was already extremely strong, but in the relics of the gods, due to the restrictions of the rules, it was limited to the low-level quasi-sacred level combat power. But since this is the case, they can at least display a strong low-level quasi-sacred combat power. And because of their power and effect of mass destruction, their combat effectiveness is incomparable. After a round of bombardment, more than a dozen 20 cm caliber shells poured out directly. On such a crowded battlefield, there is no need for any aiming. A single bombardment can cause extremely strong lethality. And what is even more frightening is, the speed of the law machine cannon firing is too fast. Even if it can't compare to the speed of hundreds of bullets per minute of the legal heavy machine gun, it is not a problem to fire dozens of legal shells per minute. 12 law machine cannons fired together, hundreds of 20 cm law shells fired in 1 minute. The scene was once shocking and horrifying, and even felt fear and consternation from the bottom of my heart. No words can express this deep feeling now. Everyone gathered here, and their eyes became extremely sharp. Hundreds of shells are fired in 1 minute. On average, one shell can blow up a radius of several meters around it into ashes, causing dozens of casualties. Coupled with the splash damage, one shell is enough to destroy dozens of enemy troops. Hundreds of shells, tens of thousands. Of course, this has a lot to do with the relatively close lineup of the enemy army, but this also verifies the strength and invincibility of the low heavy machine gun corps. This is the flame of the devil. Run, run away. That damned shell came again. My CAO, aren't these God crystal cannons and star nuclear cannons all equipped in flying warships and flying warships? How can there be such things in the Chu kingdom? You ask me, who am I to ask? Run, just run fast, don't babble, bombard you into pieces every minute. Damn it, it's really unlucky today. Who, I can't hold it anymore, who will save me? Save the hammer, I can't hold it anymore, let's follow Liang Liang together. Hold on, humming hold on, if you don't hold on right now, you'll be done for later. What's the matter? The plane is so dense, and he was bombarded to pieces before he sprinted to the enemy's city. What can we do? Evacuate at speed, evacuate at speed. Don't hesitate. Damn, don't drag me if you want to die. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1866. A sound of panic came, and everyone gathered here, feeling extremely deep. Right here, is the scariest moment. He will be bombarded every minute, who can stand it? Only a few minutes had passed, and there were tens of thousands of corpses left in the city. The three kingdoms, including the Light Alliance camp, the Dark camp, and the practitioners of Genji Shenzone, are more or less shaken. Why did they fight so hard to the end? In the end, it is also a dead end. It's embarrassing. Don't move. Don't move. Who dares to retreat? Don't blame me for not being merciful to you. Cultivators of the Temple of the Light Alliance who dare to retreat will be killed without mercy. Anyone who dares to retreat from the army of the Pure Yang Kingdom, I will definitely not be soft-hearted. Tai Shuqian, the son of the god of the Alliance of Light, turned grim for a while. While talking, he glared viciously into the distance. The reason why the situation has collapsed to this point is because of Fang Fan's interference. This bastard. Is he great just because he is the deputy third-rank acting archbishop of the Temple of the Light Alliance? He dares to be so presumptuous just because he has Dongguo Saint as his backer. It's really daring. Kill. Kill without mercy. Must be killed to the end. God's fruit, you must get it. Tai Shuqian, the godson of the Alliance of Light Temple, gritted his teeth, his eyes were full of murderous intent, his hands were folded in front of him, and his thoughts gradually boiled. All kinds of feelings are very real. No one can stop the footsteps of my dark temple. The army of the Tian Kingdom. Stand in front of me. Use this son of God as cannon fodder. Cultivators of the Dark Temple, attack later. Invade the capital of the Chiyu Kingdom. Massacre the city. Massacre the city. Haishan, the godson of the Dark Temple, let out a roar, looking very proud. At this moment, he is completely using the Tian Kingdom's army as cannon fodder, letting them act as human shields in front, blocking all the bombardment as much as possible. Haishan, godson Haishan, the soldiers of my Tian Kingdom have suffered too much loss, otherwise, or else, let's withdraw first, it's not too late to fight again. Cassius, the king of Tian Kingdom, trembled his lips. Seeing his people being killed one by one, he was very anxious. He wished he could rush over and leave with the army now, so as not to be ruined here. How long has it been? The army of his Tian kingdom lost 20,000. If this trend continues, it won't be long before they all collapse. Thinking of this, Cassius, the king of Tian kingdom, felt resentful. Tisk, King Cassius, do you think it's possible? And, you actually dare to question the order of the Son of God? You are getting bolder now. Do you think that the Son of God can't do anything to you? Would you like me to slaughter all of your royal family, and then slaughter all the shrimp soldiers and crab generals under your command, so you will be happy? If you don't want to be cannon fodder, die. Snapped. He Tian, the godson of the Dark Temple, slapped him across the face, and Cassius, the king of the Tian kingdom, fell to the ground with grief and anger on his face. Although he was extremely depressed at the moment, but in such a situation, he could only clenched his fists and stood helplessly, without even a voice to retort. To be a king for this purpose is absolutely impossible. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 1867. In the distance, among the coalition forces of the One God sect and the Akabane Kingdom, Fu Suiai, the third peak goddess of Genji Shenzone, had a beautiful face that was already extremely dark. All kinds of thoughts were focused on it, and the killing intent was boiling. How can this guy have so many strong men? Why didn't you have any information before? What are you all doing? Trash. A bunch of trash. Huangfu Shui clenched her silver teeth slightly. While talking, her eyes kept scanning the surroundings. All kinds of thoughts gathered, and the killing intent became more real. Now it is difficult to express the unhappiness in my heart with words. Priest Huangfu. The king hasn't lost his temper yet. Why are you complaining? Before you agreed with the king, you just came to pacify the Chu kingdom, and there are several coalition forces. The king thought that there would be no big losses, so he agreed to your request. But now it seems that everything is fake. Asshole. Asshole to the extreme. How did you arrange it? Are you going to let the king jump into the fire pit? Qi Lian, the king of Chiu kingdom, trembled his fat body, and while talking, he pointed at Huangfu Sui's nose and cursed. Although he is greedy and lustful, but being able to take the position of the king shows that he is not stupid. His little wealth can't just be used up like this, otherwise, it will really be over. In such a troubled world, trying to make others sympathize with you, is absolutely impossible. This is an era when big fish eat small fish and small fish eat dried shrimps. Among the ruins of the gods, there are countless tribes, large and small, but there are only 4 in the kingdom. I don't know how many people are staring at the fertile land of their Akabane kingdom, wanting to jump over and take a bite at any time. Thinking of this, Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, felt more and more irritable. King Kilian, what does this mean? Could it be that you are going to retreat? Let me tell you, once you shoot the bow, there will be no turning back. If you want to leave now, I'm afraid it's too late. A murderous intent flickered in the eyes of Fu Suiai, the third peak goddess of Genji Shenzone. It was obvious that the murderous intention had been moved in her heart at this moment. As for how to deal with it next, it is still unknown. But at this moment, all kinds of thoughts are extremely real, and they will directly follow the collapse and explosion every minute. What? Is it possible that Priestess Huangfu still wants to hold the king hostage? Do you think you have such strength? The king came here, so he can go back. I don't care if you are here to die, but I don't want to die. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, rolled his eyes. In fact, he had a new idea in his heart at this moment. The current war involves Chu kingdom, Tian kingdom, and King Chunyang, and the war will definitely consume troops and national strength. And if their Akabane kingdom could recuperate and watch from the sidelines at this moment, wouldn't they be able to reap the benefits of being a fisherman? When the other three kingdoms are weak, one hit will kill. Thinking of this, Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, felt extremely excited. This excitement is still rising sharply at this moment. The plan was perfect. The idea is also very real, waiting to be executed now. So at this moment, Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, has made up his mind to evacuate temporarily. Wait until the right opportunity to kill and come back to eat meat. Anyway, you can't do a loss-making business. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 1868. Fu Suiai, the third peak god of the Genji Shen Zone, glanced at the plump body of Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom. Her eyes were full of resentment and anger. Drop the chain for her at the critical moment. What kind of heart is at ease? The point is, at this moment, do you still have a chance to escape? Huangfu Shuan narrowed her eyes slightly, the killing intent in her eyes was concentrated. King Qi Lian, you want to withdraw now, but you really don't have this chance. Don't say that we Genji Shen Zone doesn't agree. I'm afraid that even the other two kings will never allow you to quit halfway. I advise you to put away your unrealistic ideas, otherwise today is the day when the Akabane kingdom will perish, and you will be the subjugated king of the Akabane kingdom. The sound of Huangfu Suiai's threat came, making Qi Lian, the king of Chiu kingdom, look even more ugly. Damn! How dare you threaten him like this? The army of the Akabane kingdom obeys orders. Defend the king. Evacuate the battlefield. Whoever dares to block, kill without mercy. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, gave an order, and his complexion became gloomy and cold for a while. While talking, his eyes flickered with murderous intent. Then he waved his hand and ran straight to the rear. I want to escape. Don't even think about it. Where to go? Fuxue, the goddess of Genji Shen Zone, let out a cold cry, and immediately rushed over, apparently still wanting to kill Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom. Bitch! How dare you do anything to the king? Sure enough, you have been uneasy and kind from the very beginning. If you don't teach you a little lesson today, you will be ashamed to be the king. Catch her up for me, the king will enjoy it tonight. Qi Lian, the king of the Akabane kingdom, narrowed his eyes. While talking, his face couldn't help showing a look of greed, and he felt an evil fire in his heart for no reason. It's been a long time since I've tasted the taste of a beauty of this level, and she's like a little pepper, which makes her feel extra special when she looks at it. Following the order of the Kilian king, the 200,000 troops of the Chiu kingdom instantly withdrew from the front-line battlefield, and directly besieged Fu Suiai, the third peak goddess of Genji Shen Zone. Seeing the changing situation, Huangfu Suiai's expression became increasingly ugly. How seemingly endless rain. Originally, the attack on King Chu was not smooth, but now he is in chaos first. Where are the practitioners of Genji Shen Zone? Help goddess Huangfu. These native soldiers are crazy, they actually attacked us. Kill. Kill them all. Damn, don't hold back. Kill them all. Kill. Kill without mercy. Kill endlessly. The sound of killing is endless, and the desire to kill is extremely strong. Everyone's eyes are focused on this, and the feeling is particularly profound. The tens of thousands of practitioners of Genji Shen Zone and its affiliated forces directly collided with the 200,000 troops of Chiu Kingdom, and a hearty fight was launched directly in front of the capital of King Chu. The scene once seemed huge. Because the scale of the civil war gradually expanded, it soon affected the troops and practitioners of the other two kingdoms, the Temple of the Alliance of Light and the Temple of Darkness. The practitioners of the other two kingdoms, the Temple of the Alliance of Light, and the Temple of Darkness wanted to conquer the capital of King Chu with all their strength, but the troops and practitioners of Genji Shenzong and Chiu Kingdom were blocked in the middle, and they could only attack from both sides. The scene once seemed coercive and extremely complicated. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 1869. This group of idiots who are righteous in the sect of God. What the hell did they do? Why are they still fighting with the army of the native kingdom, idiots? Don't even look at the timing now. Stupid. Trash. Tai Shuqian, the godson of the Temple of the Light Alliance, gritted his teeth, and complained angrily. Now that he has encountered such a thing at this time, it has brought him too much inconvenience and trouble, and it may even cause some disasters. Thinking of this, Tai Shuqian, the godson of the Alliance of Light Temple, felt more and more irritable. Isn't this delaying him from taking the fruit of God? If it wasn't for his limited strength, he would have wanted to wipe out Genji Shenzong and Akabane Kingdom in one go, let alone kill them all. Above the capital of King Chu, Fang Fan stood on the city wall, glanced around at the bottom, and then the astonishment on his face became more and more intense. So, you started fighting yourself? The capital of the Chu Kingdom has not yet been conquered, but the friendly forces of each other directly engaged in a civil war. Fang Fan had the urge to laugh. Did he meet a group of idiot practitioners? Otherwise, how could the situation have evolved like this? This is, far from what he expected, even, weirdly outrageous. Prince, it seems that the army of the Akabane Kingdom is fighting with those aliens. What should we do now? Queen Natasha raised her head to look at Fang Fan, with a thoughtful look on her face. As a queen, she has always been very determined, otherwise she would not be able to control the entire Chu Kingdom. But after Fang Fan came, she liked to ask Fang Fan about everything, and somehow felt that this was her reliance, and relying on Fang Fan would make her feel extra secure. Thinking of this, the light in Queen Natasha's beautiful eyes shone more and more. Stand still. Although the armies of Akabane Kingdom and Genji Shenzong are in civil turmoil now, it has also attracted several other forces to dare not make changes. Originally, it seemed a little stressful for us to deal with the three major kingdoms and the other three major forces, but now that the threat of one kingdom and one force has been eliminated, only two kingdoms and two forces are left, it seems much easier. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, then nodded secretly and said, all kinds of thoughts were churning in his mind, and the smiles on the corners of Fang Fan's mouth grew more and more. The current situation is relatively clear. Natasha, you said before that the kingdom of Tianq and the kingdom of Shu are on good terms. Fang Fan suddenly narrowed his eyes and asked. Seeing the civil strife in Akabane Kingdom and Genji Shenzong, he suddenly had other thoughts in his mind. Well, yes, King Cassius of the Tianq Kingdom came to the throne not long ago. Our Chu Kingdom helped him a lot when he came to power, so after he took the throne, the Tianq Kingdom formed an alliance with our Chu Kingdom. By the way, just now he sent a messenger, saying that their Tianq Kingdom attacked the capital of our Chu Kingdom because they were forced to do so, and hoped that we could hold their hands high against their Chu Kingdom's army, and their Chu Kingdom's army would also pretend to attack. Queen Natasha nodded, and then whispered to the side. After listening to what Queen Natasha said, Fang Fan's eyes gradually lit up. It was exactly as he expected. The three kingdoms and the three powers seem to be huge in scale, but they are actually not closely related. In other words, they are all incompatible. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 1870. If you can grasp this point, you may not be able to kill with one blow. Fang Fan took a deep breath, All kinds of thoughts were churning in his mind, and the smiles on the corners of his mouth grew more and more. Tian Kingdom, you can win it over. Prepare 30,000 elite soldiers for me, I want to kill them. Fang Fan looked at Queen Natasha, and then said solemnly. Get out. Prince, what do you want to do? Millions of troops gather outside the city, and we are not enough to defend the city. You lead 30,000 elites to fight out, it is too dangerous. Queen Natasha's complexion changed, she shook her head and said. No problem. I'm just going to rescue the king of the Tian Kingdom, then the army of the Tian Kingdom will be at our disposal. At that time, it will be much easier to defend the city with the strength of the two kingdoms and the geographical advantage. Since King Cassius of the Tian Kingdom was able to send out such information, it must have come from this aspect of his mind, but he escaped because of his own lack of ability. Fang Fan pondered for a while, and then analyzed the current situation. Relatively speaking, this is the real situation at present. A full analysis is still needed right now. The plan is excellent. But it's just too dangerous. I don't worry about you going. Queen Natasha bit her red lips, looked eagerly at Fang Fan's face, her body began to tremble unnaturally, various thoughts churned in her mind, and her feelings seemed extremely deep. All in all, I just don't want Fang Fan to be in danger. Don't worry, I'll be fine, the person who can kill me has never been born. Besides, my little Natasha and I haven't completed the reality of husband and wife, how can we be willing to die? The corners of Fang Fan's mouth raised slightly, for some reason, every time he saw Queen Natasha, he couldn't help but want to verbalize it. Maybe this is a disease? Fang Fan shrugged, feeling quite helpless. Although Queen Natasha has never known the specific meaning of the so-called truth between husband and wife, she can guess a thing or two from the obvious evil smile on Fang Fan's face. At this moment, Queen Natasha glared at Fang Fan angrily, and then symbolically smashed Fang Fan's chest with her small fist. I hope you will return early. Queen Natasha looked at Fang Fan eagerly, and her deep affection was immediately revealed. Fang Fan stroked Queen Natasha's soft long hair, and then left with a whistling sound. 20 minutes later, all 30,000 elite soldiers were ready. Bales, leave 6 low heavy machine artillery to guard the city wall, and the remaining 6 low heavy machine artillery, attack with me. The remaining 9 legions. Follow me. 6 heroes. 4 favorites, attack with the army. Nai Yan's bodyguard, come with me. This battle is intended for a quick victory. Launch an attack from the right side of the main city gate to rescue the king of the Tian Kingdom, Cassius. Disrupt the enemy's vertical and horizontal alliance. Fang Fan gave an order, then rode on the little golden dragon, and glanced into the distance. Charge. Kill. Boom. Bang bang bang. Rumbling. After Fang Fan gave the order, the sound of bombing sounded one after another, and the 6 low heavy machine artillerymen fired shells frantically, clearing the obstacles ahead. Then the remaining 9 legions are the vanguard, reaping ahead. The 30,000 elite of the Chu Kingdom then launched an all-out attack.